right?
Yeah, let's do this thing.
Uh,
Afternoon. What is it? The 27th, May 27th, afternoon, Saudi Arabia, folks. WWE Night of Champions on this very long Memorial Day weekend with so many shows happening this weekend. Had to hit it with one of these reviews at some point. So we got to start off with one of the big ones, Night of Champions. In a way, lucky this is in the afternoon and it's not nighttime, but it's probably nighttime over there in Saudi Arabia. But with so many shows going on, let's get one of the big ones, which, like I just said, is WWE Night of Champions. Didn't really plan on doing a review for this one, but in a way, this is impromptu. But there was a lot to say about this show. So let's kick it off today here, folks. First off, let my co-hosts introduce themselves right now.
all right. My name Kyle, aka Straight Face 40. Man, it was a good show. I really enjoyed this show.
Agree. Gotta say, one of the better Saudi shows in a way. Not a bad show. Voice is a little out, but I can still do this. But yeah, I thought it was a pretty good show. There's a lot to say about it, though. I will say that. I was in Jeddah, the Jeddah Superdome, and we do kick it off. Let's get right off to it. The tournament or the finals of the tournament for the new WWE World Heavyweight Championship with Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles to kick off this whole thing. Really good match. I
Oh,
enjoyed it.
oh my god. It's still my favorite match of the night. I really enjoyed this match. I knew I was. It was one of those matches that I was looking forward to. I knew I was going to be entertained by this match, even though I knew the outcome. I just knew I would be entertained by this match, and I wasn't disappointed. AJ Styles, man, really put it on. He make you forget that it man 20 years, more than 20 years of the business that he been in. And I don't know if you was you really listening in depth of the commentary, or you were just like trying not to really listen to Michael Cole and Corey Graves. Was you really listening to the what's the name to the
uh,
commentary?
I did listen to it halfway through. I did notice a couple times that they said, AJ Styles having, 20 plus years experience, and how I guess Seth studied him to get ready to do this match. So they did go through a lot of their accolades and whatnot as this match went on. Like I said, I really enjoyed it. I thought it was great. I never really had any doubt that the match was going to be great. It was just the problem was it was just so predictable of who was going to win, and the way they really, how can I say, built it and whatnot, especially into the finals. Because yes, this was a Raw championship. Let's remember that this belt was going to Raw regardless. And I think the way they did it was what, talking about with Seth. Because let's be honest, for the past couple weeks now, Seth has had like what, 2 sit-down interviews and multiple video packages, basically talking about his entire career, all the way from NXT up to now. Which AJ, he didn't really get that much other than what, just some 5-minute interview with Waller and a smaller video package, not really even kind of talking about his history or his accomplishments. Which it literally, like, everything already foreshadowed you that Seth was winning his title no matter what. Okay. Because even I know some people, I know they had a problem with how they kind of built this. Because some people believe they just kind of, I don't want to say they hold AJ all the way, but like they could have did a little bit better in building him to at least thinking he may, excuse me, may win the new world title. But this was in the bag for Seth regardless. He was gonna win, and like I said already, this was a title for Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, of course, everybody knew that, but I didn't care about that part. All I really cared about was if you go how you were going to present this, and was you going to present this as just a far gone conclusion throughout the whole match. Nah, it made you think it could be. It was a lot of times Seth messing up his knee. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? Everything really, like, can you really tell me a story with the, well, how can I say it, with the match? And I really enjoyed myself. I really intrigued on what Monday Night Raw main event scene is going to look like now.
Because, yes, they obviously need a champion. I know a lot of people still look at this title as the consolation prize and whatnot, given that, Roman is still holding the two main titles and whatnot, that they just had to go create another championship belt, which, like I said, Raw needs a championship belt. Like I probably said in the past, they should have just separated the belts, but, with this new world title belt, we'll see what happens. Like I said, overall, it was a great match. I enjoyed it. They did build up a lot of suspense. It's just at the end of the day, you already know who was gonna win, and that right after Seth won, Triple H was out there presenting him the new world title because that's one of Triple H's boys out there, so he had to be there for that.
I I want to address those people who called it the consolation prize. And I want to I want to present three options. No, two options for them. Option number one. So how we going to get these belts out? One belt off of Roman. All right, you gonna have a challenger who only want to challenge for one belt. Well, that see each other odds. Don't you want both for the belts? Well, if you only want one, that okay. Or option number two is to take the belt, one of the belts off of him, and put one up at the tournament, how you did in the World Heavyweight Championship. So that exclude him from getting pinned. Anybody really beating him to look like a real champion because he only took one belt off of him and he didn't even really get pinned. He got stripped of that one championship. It's a lot of options, but what it all revolve around is Roman having both belts, and it should have never happened in the first place. Like people forget that part. Like it never should have got this to this point that Roman having both belts. And 2022 was a crazy rough year. It made us get used to a lot of things that we should have never got used to, and that was one of them.
Yeah, because at this point, they've literally just padded this whole title reign, and there's multiple ways they could have got the belt off of him. Obviously, one would have been pulling the trigger back at WrestleMania. I would say that, or one idea. And I remember Kevin saying this the other day. Adam Pearce could have came to him like, "Hey, man, you haven't been defending this title like 30 days, so either you defend it or we're gonna take one away from you." So there's many ways they could have taken the belt off him.
But that's what I was saying. Script for him of the title. So that means you got to script him of the title and put one up as you know, as a for a tournament and for that's the same thing. Like so he don't get pinned, and whoever wins the title is a consolation. Like here you go, you don't get the pin Roman for the main title, but here's another main title.
Yeah, because like with that could have been like a cop out also. Because even what I felt like when they could just created this new title belt, I kind of felt like it was a cop out in a way when it was first introduced. So, cause I'm like, so this is just a title basically, so Roman can get his 1,000 days, but we need another title because Raw hasn't had a champion in God knows how long, and the USA Network had already wanted a champion back on Raw.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Like
But
that's how I kind of look at it. Excuse me. That's how I kind of look at it. So I do want to see where this goes. It with Seth holding the title, but one does make you kind of wonder in the future with this championship of who's going to be main eventing these pay-per-views now, because we know Roman is not here all the time, so they need a world champion to be main eventing some of these shows because Roman's not here all the time to main event a lot of these shows. It's not like he wasn't there for Backlash earlier this month. So they needed they needed a world champion, like at least someone that's more consistent on TV and whatnot, because we only see Roman like what, every month maybe or a few weeks, and that's only on SmackDown.
yeah, and here's the thing. I think it's really going to his character. It makes his character look authentic. Every time you do see them, you already know something big is going to happen. So get ready for that something big happening. And y'all, we should have known that we're gonna get to that point later on tonight. I mean, later on in the review of what happened, but
Oh yeah.
it, people should have known something big was going to happen once we saw Roman Reigns once again on TV.
Oh yeah.
But
Something big had to happen.
right, but people over here is going crazy over. Oh man, he did just defend the title at Night of Champions. Y'all wait till Friday night. What I was just saying, I just said something big is going to happen every time we see Roman Reigns. The thousand, they gonna celebrate the 1,000 days, whatever, at on Friday night, and something big again is going to happen. And so I just jumping ahead, but I just want to prove a point.
Yeah. that that is true. Sorry, I can't get my voice together. But yeah, that's I will go off upon that because yeah, where are they gonna go? And I'm gonna have a lot to say more about it later when we get to the main event. But I see where you're going with that. But overall, this match, I thought it was great. We'll see what happens with this world title thing in the future, or maybe by Monday with Seth.
Oh,
So we'll see what
I don't think
happens.
I haven't commented on that belt, how much I love it though. I
Go ahead.
really do. I really love that belt. That belt is a masterpiece to me. I swear to you. Oh my goodness, that plate, that gold plate, man. It ain't go beat my favorite championship of all time. It's the undisputed championship. Well, back you know,
Ruthless aggression.
back in those days, right before the spinner belt. But that's my favorite belt. But this is like, whew, this is a close second.
It is a good belt though. I do like it. That and it's gold, so it just give that world title feel and whatnot. I still like the big gold belt. I
Yeah,
always will love that
yeah,
belt.
always, always
Um,
belt.
the big gold belt was always one of my favorites, but I do like this title belt a lot though, so it is still a nice looking belt.
Yeah,
But going on from there, they did announce Money in the Bank, which will be in
yeah,
London, um, at the O2. Man, WWE's really doing a lot of these international shows right now.
yeah. I was just telling my cousin when he was coming in and out and watching the show with me. And I was like, yeah, this a second. I said the second, but I have to correct myself now. Not just thinking about it. No, this gonna be their third international show
In
that
a
they
row.
did. Backlash in Puerto Rico. Tonight at Saudi Arabia, and then they going to the U2 arena. I mean stadium. For Money
Uh,
in the Bank. So yeah, that gonna
apparently,
be.
go ahead.
Nah, I said that gonna be great. That's all I wanted to say.
Apparently, maybe an earlier start time due to the time differences between the UK and America. So I think it's gonna be an earlier start time over here that day.
As long as they do it on Saturday, sure, I'll be cool with it.
Yeah, Saturday in the afternoon. I don't mind.
Right.
Depending on how early it is, we'll see. Oh, I'm not mad at that. But right after though, next was Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. Have you thanked Trish lately?
What you say?
Have you thanked
What,
Trish? Have you thanked Trish lately?
have I? What you mean?
Have you thanked her? Have you said thank you, Trish, lately? Have you thanked her?
Uh,
When's the last time you thanked her?
Well, I don't, yeah, but she wants people to say it. I like the character work with her. She always worked better as a heel. People don't understand that. For the young niggas out there who probably look at Trish as this ultra baby face, they showed in the Hall of Fame packages and all that. So nah, she worked better as a heel. she was always better as a heel. Her heel work was, man, something else. And I really encourage people to go back and go look at some of her heel work with her leader. You know, I think that was the main catalyst of the reason why they main event Raw that night, because Trish heel work and Lita babyface. Basically she was like before she was with Ed, she was a female version of the Hardy Boys. So of course people loved that at the time. So yeah, but this match right here though, look, here's the thing. It's different between ring rust, like how I was saying with Trish. There was complete ring rust. You can't just have two matches and win with the span of WrestleMania now. You know what I'm saying? You can't have two matches between the span of WrestleMania and now and not think it was going to be ring rust and complete botching. No, it was complete ring rust. Real talk. I think Trish needs to go here and they should talk her into having a match, a few matches, because I know this feud about to go on now. So I have a few matches on Raw to knock some of that ring rust off. Because I could see glimpses of you still got it, but it was a couple of miscues. Like, oh man, that when she was trying to do that little handstand, what's that move she called that move? The little handstand thing she do off the
Off the top rope, like running
yeah,
into it.
yeah. She when she was trying to connect with it, she accidentally hit Becky in the face. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like I see glimpses of what she was trying to do, but it was like I think she needs to have a couple of matches on Raw to knock some of that ring rust, because we know she having a match at SummerSlam. I know if there's some buts about it. I think Becky probably gonna be in the Money in the Bank match with Zoe Starks, so they can continue that feud with them. But yeah,
Um, I do, I do agree. I didn't hate the match. I thought it was, I thought it was pretty good for what it was.
yeah,
Um, I think Trish was gonna go over here.
I
Not
we're gonna
not
have.
really at first, but obviously they want to keep this feud going. And, one thing you kind of brought up about her being a heel from years ago, which was really good, back then, because I look at heel Trish right now, which it isn't the worst, but after kind of been looking at some of the promo segments lately between her and Becky, they haven't been all that, to be honest. And some people like they because a lot of people want to see the old Trish of that bitchy gimmick she had back then. It was screwing people over and stuff. This one has been, it hasn't been bad, but she wants the whole, hey, like acknowledge me type of thing. I paved the way. I did this for everybody and stuff. So I get what they're going with that. Um, I do want to say Becky, I guess, looked like Kill Bill out there today,
I
which did
love
look
the outfit though.
the
I love
Kill
the
Bill.
outfit. I think both of them had a decent that raw looking outfit. So
Trisha's gear looked like Trisha's gear from back then, except it was just more, covered.
yeah,
And
uh,
she didn't have her hat.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, where was the hat? That's what I want to know. Where was the
I
hat?
because I guess it didn't look as good with that bodysuit that she had on. It wouldn't look as how it would look at her regular attire, because we in the next pay per view that she's gonna be in, we're gonna see her in her regular attire. There was a Saudi Arabia attire the women have to cover themselves there.
If she had the hat, and I'm not gonna compare because I was gonna say last time when she had the hat and all black on nearly, I was gonna say I'm like, wow, everybody's trying to be Undertaker right now with when Brock tried to have the black coat and the black hat, but then I was like, well, Trisha's wore a coat and hat for years, so I can't really compare that.
And here's the thing, but so since the Undertaker is going on, that's all up for grabs. The black coat and the black hat, that's all up for grabs, man. Whoever make it look better, who make it look good, whoever make it look good the best can use the gimmick.
And also, obviously, this isn't a one-off feud. I guess this will continue, given because right after Becky did hit the manhandle slam, Trish got out of the ring and tried to go under. Becky pulled her back, and then Zoe Stark, which I was actually surprised to see come from under the ring, hit the Z360 onto Becky, threw her back in the ring. Trish hit the Stratus faction and won the match, which Becky did bleed from the nose, then probably from that Z360 there.
Yeah, that she connected. Ain't no ifs or buts about it. She really connected, and I was like, I mean, I hope nobody, look at it as she dangerous in the ring. No, I think that was a complete accident. I think they could go do it again, and it probably won't happen. I really trust Zoe. Zoe is really a safe worker. So, but
And
yeah,
obviously they want to give Stark a push right now.
oh yeah,
Uh,
most definitely, man. And
that's
go
good to
ahead,
see. I like Stark, so good to see
yeah,
that. I liked her in NXT, and I'm like, all right, good. She's getting a pretty good push right now, given that she just got the Raw. Because I was wondering where they're like, all right, let's see where they go with Stark. But I'm like, okay, they already got something for her, so that's a step in the right direction.
right.
So overall, I thought the match it wasn't bad, but like I said, the feud obviously will continue between Trish and Becky. So we'll see where that goes next. Right after that, we did have the Intercontinental Championship on the line. Mustafa Ali versus Gunter. Gunter. Walter
The
Gunter.
crazy
I get the
part,
names wrong.
crazy part about the Brace, I really enjoyed this match. I thought I wasn't, and I really looked like, oh man, Mustafa they gonna get killed out there, man. Couple of clothesline, drop kick move, I thought he was just gonna get murder out there. No, they actually gave him offense, and offense that made sense too. It ain't make it like, oh, he just came out of nowhere, and just had it. Nah, he made Gunther miss with his speed. Hit Gunther a couple of times, knocked him off his feet. Now go up to the top rope. I hit the 450 one time. I'm gonna do if I can do it again. It made sense for him to go up there again and try to move because hey, if I can do this move again, I could probably win this match. It made sense that the psychology of that match made more sense than the psychology of the Cody and Brock match. We about that when we get there. But this psychology in this match really made sense. It made Mustafa look good. And it didn't make Mustafa look weak. To
All
be
right, because
honest,
I got a lot to say about this.
to be honest with you though, they could build this nigga off of this match alone because even in a loss, it made him look good. And
Yes.
I know they not gonna do it. That boat sailed a long time ago. It, I know they're not gonna do it, but I really think they can build this man off of this match alone, even in a loss.
That is a very big possibility if they want to do something with him now after this. Because I look at it like this within this match. I thought it was really good. Obviously, it built up the underdog, showing a lot of heart out there against the big dominant champion. Even having the hope spots here and there. Because going into this, I really did not care about Mustafa Ali in going into this match. Obviously, this was for Saudi Arabia and whatnot, because I kind of feel like the reaction he got out here worked over here. Because if this was in America, he'd be getting crickets right now. To also add, after
I,
Brock said, "Get a life, kid," that kind of killed him another night too.
not to cut you off.
Go ahead, go
I,
ahead.
Before this match, you were saying you didn't care. How do you feel
I
after?
didn't I didn't see the video package because I don't have the premium thing for Peacock, so they play commercials for me.
No, how you like it? How you like the performance in the match?
No, I thought it was a good match. Don't get me wrong. I just
That's,
never believed he was gonna win.
nah, I just said, do you like the performance Do you like? Do you like it the last time?
Go ahead. Go
I
ahead.
remember it was Brock versus Ricochet for the WWE Championship back in Saudi. Was it a few years ago?
Yeah, and it was like
How
what, 10
they treated that,
seconds?
right? How they treated that match. I thought they were going to do the same thing with Gunter and Mustafa Ali.
Just have
Real
him out
talk.
there, kill him with one move, and that's it.
Yeah, but the performance in the match, I like. I know how you feel. I completely agree with how you feel. How you were talking about Brock Lesnar killed him with that get a light kid. Like, no, why?
Apparently that was a shoot. Apparently that was a shoot.
Okay, guess what? Guess what? Okay, guess what? Who go punish Brock Lesnar? Who go do it? Who? Will Mustafa
Yeah,
Ali go up there and punch Brock Lesnar in the mouth after
and
the
it was stop early. He just walked off on Monday. He just walked off. He didn't even react. He just walked away.
Was you gonna react? Are you going to?
Yeah, this Brock. Yeah, because like you said, who really about to stop Brock?
Right. You gonna go up there and slap Brock? Oh man. Hey, don't you do that again, Brock. He'll put you in a real Kimura lock.
Yeah, because like the way when I saw that, I'm like, I said, why should anybody believe this guy's gonna try to beat, Gunter again? Because let's be honest, like, what was he really doing before he won this battle royale? Like, he wasn't really doing nothing, and then the times he was on TV, he was literally getting zero reaction.
Yeah, of course.
He's just kind of there.
I just think that with Mustafa, it's really more uh, how can we get him over? We tried a lot of things and we tried a lot of gimmicks. And within a few years, we tried at least 4, 5 different gimmicks, and everything is not sticking to the wall. And here's the thing: like it goes back to boxing. Um, whatever that what that group again? That horrible group. That
Retribution.
retribution. It all go back to boxing that. Like once you box that for him, that could have been something for him to do if you could have did it correctly, but it didn't work. And now he just shredded water. They giving him some type of smiley gimmick. What? He's some type of upbeat type of guy who just smiles and like I don't understand the gimmick now, and that's not going to do anything. People not going to care about that.
You muffling out just to tell you, kind of muffling a little.
Oh, I'm like, people not going to care about
Now I
that.
can hear you.
Like, and you going with like 4 gimmicks in 2 years, like 2, 3 years, you already ran through 4 gimmicks. Like that's not going to get the person over.
Yeah, because the last time I really remember him doing anything was what him and Ziggler were doing something. And I didn't really even know what that was. And half the time I see him now, he's just jobbing to somebody. So
Yeah,
like when he won that battle royale, I'm like, oh, okay, we're going with him. And then I had to think about it, like, oh, Saudi Arabia, all right, because it's kind of like I said at the beginning of this whole thing. I didn't really care about this coming in. I was just kind of like, he's not gonna win because even B. Steve was talking, texting throughout the thing, and I've said like, I had to tell like, dude, he ain't gonna win. I know they probably showed a big thing in Saudi and video package him being a man of the people and all
uh,
that, but I sat there like,
none
he
of
ain't
that.
winning.
I ain't got premium. I ain't see none of that. But
I ain't see it either.
I just really was surprised, and it was a good surprise to how they handled this match.
And the crowd, like I said, the crowd went along with it. It was pretty good. Like I
Oh,
said, it worked over here. It worked there. I just
I
don't
was
think it was gonna work in America.
no, I of course it was gonna work in America, but that's beside the point. It's like I really think the match would have been good regardless of the crowd being hyped for it or not. The crowd really wasn't hyped throughout the match until he saw I do a host spot.
Yeah, in the last few minutes, yeah,
Right. So
it got better then. So like I said, overall, I didn't think this was a bad match or anything. And like I said, they built enough to at least kind of like give you some type of hope for him to win and everything. Because like I said, going into this, I was just like, just chalk up another win for Gunter and call it a day. That's how I felt going into this.
He,
I
that
got
was it was a good win for him, and
it was
he
a good
probably
win.
going on to Riddle.
Oh yeah, Riddle. They are building something into that. So we'll see what goes on from there. But overall, I thought it was a good match. It was what it was. So I I didn't mind it. It was pretty good. Next, the Raw Women's title on the line. Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Man, even though it says this match was technically 15 minutes, it felt longer than that.
And what you they a 15 minutes live? They a
Yeah,
15.
I'm like, you sure it was 15 minutes? It felt like 25 minutes.
It felt long. Oh my god, it felt so long, bro. I I felt so sorry for this match because you just wanted it to just be so good and so great. It never got off of first year. To me, it just never got off of first year. To me, it just felt slow. It's just I don't know. I did really. All I wanted to see is Oscar win the match. That's all I wanted to see. Other than
Cause
that, I
one
did.
thing. Sorry, my bad. I was gonna say one thing, and you got a point. Oscar winning, and we got to brought up a point. I mean, it's even we brought you up earlier, kind of what you said in the last review about like, so Oscar's got to win this time, right?
Man, I was saying that because here's the thing: like if you gonna run this back, if you gonna run it back, she gonna have to win because like she would never have to. She would have. She could never go back for the world title again. As long as Bianca got the title, I can say that. If she would have lost this match, Bianca hold the title and can't beat Oscar again going for the title. So she has to win this match. She has to win this match.
Yeah,
When she,
and
I like how she won too.
yep, and with the
Like
mist.
man, I Bianca being smart enough to move out the way, knowing that she probably about to spit out the mist right now, and she moved out the way. Yeah, that was good. That was great. And
And
then the
rubbing into her eyes and stuff.
oh my goodness, that was a good plan. But getting there, it's like reading a book and getting to the good end, a great ending. But you have to go through a lot of boring stuff to get to that great ending.
What do you think about the crowd turning on Bianca and mostly a pro Oscar crowd out there?
So, well, I, going back to what me and Steven was saying in the backlash review when we were talking then, yeah, it happened. It happened in other countries and something like that, but at the same time, it's happening. It, nothing wrong with like cooling her off for right now. It's nothing wrong. She had a hot how many years? A hot 2 years to be honest with you. Winning the SmackDown a couple of years ago against Sasha, winning the Raw against Becky last year. You
Three
know,
WrestleManias in a row, three
right,
P.
right. So that's just cool her down.
And with Bianca, I know I've heard this about her. She's either been spinning her wheels or she's just kind of become stale at this point because she already now has like what the longest reigning women's champion of the modern era, as they said. So they've already kind of went past that milestone. Because even I was like, what other opponents does Bianca really have right now, especially for SmackDown? Because especially when they was running Oscar back, I'm like, are we running this back again right now? And I was like, so Asuka's gonna win this time, right? Because it wouldn't make no sense if she just went in again and just lost like she did at WrestleMania. So I kind of wonder if Asuka was gonna win this or not. And kind of like I said, with the crowd, I know it's 2 international crowds in a row that ain't really feeling Bianca, and I heard a lot of "Let's Go Asuka" chants. People either booed Bianca or they chanted "You suck" at her
Which
out there. So
I would agree to with Steven that really give you a skill or how her run is still going, because if we can use that same logic you was just saying with Mustafa Ali earlier, that same logic that you were saying with him, that it wouldn't work in America and that crowd wouldn't work, it's only worked there, and we can use it in reverse form, that Bianca is still getting cheered in America, but in other crowds outside the country, Bianca is getting booed. So we can't use that as a measuring stick. How her reign is still going. And what I would say though, that was the right decision to cool her down. You know, even though it's not happening in America, if I went through this whole summer, if they would have went through this whole summer with her as a champion, going past SummerSlam and all that stuff, by the time we get to September, I think the crowd would have been burnt.
because
They would have burned out.
yeah, because like right now, I do feel like they really are in a rebuild process with Asuka, because they really do need to rebuild her. And I guess with her as the champion right now, we'll see where it goes.
They still need
Uh,
to. They need to still need to be fixing her up a little bit, because this submission based Oscar, who was just doing submission moves throughout the whole match. Um, Today is not the Oscar I needed to see. That's what made the match boring to me. We just saw a lot of rest hold. We talk about rest hold Randy. If she continued this, we'll be calling her rest hold Oscar. Cause that's all I was seeing. It was a lot of submission moves, but we know some of those submission moves are rest holds, and it was a lot of it. It kind of would cool it down the crowd a little bit. The crowd would just look at, like, come on, we ready for something bigger to happen, and then it happened.
uh, yeah, because like right now, excuse me, yeah, because like I said, the match itself, I was just kind of zoning out midway through that match, because it just kind of felt like it was going on forever at one point. I was
Yeah,
starting to zone out a little.
yeah. I was playing my Switch like most of the time. Like, man, like I was really, like, I was playing an RPG. Just to put it in context. I was playing an RPG, so it'll be easier for me to look away and I could watch the match. And every time I looked away and watched the match, it was like it felt like I was watching it flash for another 10 minutes going. It probably only been like 2, 3 minutes going on. Really, in reality, in real time, it that passed, and I just looked like this match went way too long. Look,
Yeah, because I like when I read like 15 minutes, I'm like, man, that shit felt like 25 minutes out there.
yeah.
So I guess now they're gonna have Bianca most likely go back on the chase for the title also. And one
That's
thing another,
up
huh?
to my bad. Go ahead, Brace. I want to continue with that point afterward. Go ahead.
Oh, okay, yeah, she'll probably be chasing back up for the title and whatnot. And also to bring up, me and Steven was kind of talking about this, and we'll get to Cody in a few minutes and everything. But he was kind of going at like, so let me get this straight. They booed Bianca, but they cheered for Cody, who's dripped in the American flag, and the white guy with the blue eyes, but he's getting cheered if they're booed at Bianca. And listen, I'm not gonna make this a race thing and whatnot. I'm like Cody is over, so I wasn't gonna go there. But he had brought that up to me because he was starting to feel that way back in Puerto Rico with the crowd. Like, what's them with them against Bianca? I don't
I
think
think
it's a race thing.
I don't think it's a race thing at all.
Or they just picky choosy with faces, or they just wanted a new champion. I don't know.
But somebody should interrupt Bianca chasing for the belt. All right, let's just say, oh man, Bianca, Asuka go have a #1 contender match for the Raw Women's Championship on SmackDown. Let that sink in. Um, and,
And maybe,
and,
maybe Charlotte comes back.
and Charlotte, no, keep her far away from the damn championship at Asuka as much as
Oh yeah, we see how that went several
yeah,
times.
we always see, right? We always see. So keep her away from the championship for right now. But somebody should interrupt a new heel, a new up and coming heel, come in and interrupt us, and she can have a feud with that up and coming heel. Other than that, I don't need I don't need Bianca to go for the title right back, right away.
At least do
Um,
something else right now.
give somebody a chance to see if you go to see if you can make a big match at SummerSlam. For because we all know everything else is from now on is leading to the next big four pay-per-view is SummerSlam. So if you really want to lead to that, try to build a new star. If they're not working, throw in Bianca as a break glass in case of emergency type of thing. Like,
Because
oh, this is
Bianca's
emergency.
Teflon. She Teflon low key.
Yeah, so if you want to break glass in case of emergency and throw her in, go ahead. But try a new baby face for Oscar because she a heel, and try a new heel against Bianca because she a face. So I'll try new things. Around the summertime, if they used back in the day, they used to try new things. Cause around now it will be their lowest viewership due to the summer activity. People go outside more, not really watching TV. So they try new things around the summertime. So I hope that they try that.
Yeah, I could see that. They got to at least build somebody up first. Whoever else is on the SmackDown roster. And one last thing I'll say before we move on. And I know they haven't done this yet, but when they switch those belts,
Oh no, oh no. That's why I said. That's why I said. Going for the SmackDown, for the Raw Women's Championship on SmackDown. I think they try not to go to that horrible situation with switching the belts and stuff. They don't want to go back to that. They looked it bad with the Street Profit did it with the New Day. It looked horrible with when Charlotte did it with Becky.
yeah, that just took a
Oh,
whole left turn.
that wasn't because of the belts. It was because they both had big egos at that point in time.
Yeah, both of them had their egos, and they one wanted to one up the other, and try to look like they was all that out there, and it was almost like, oh, I should have to do this or something like that. Like, oh, you want the title? Pick it up, pick it up.
But they don't want to go to that. That look too hokey. It make it look like, man, y'all should just have one belt and one show and all that stuff. Which I don't think so because I'm kind of pro. I'm kind of pro draft, pro brand split. So if you looking for me to bash a brand split, I will give you some negative. For the most part, though, I think it's a great positive in the brand split for the beginning all the way from '03 to when it came back in 2016 to now. I can give you a lot of pros to the brand split, why it should stay around. But but I can get the argument, bro. People who anti brand split, like this is one of the arguments they would throw at me, like, "Oh man, look at this. They just have to switch belts. Do the belts mean anything?" I'm like, the belts would have never meant anything. It was just one singular. one singular company. Do we remember how they used to treat the belts before? Like it ain't like these belts ain't looking like don't look like props at times. But at the same time, I wouldn't do the brand. I wouldn't do the swapping that look hokey, that look bad, and I wouldn't do that swamping stuff. Nah, nah.
Because I feel like they're gonna do that. I just don't think they want to do it right now. Because even I kind of wonder, like, so we gonna keep doing this, belt thing right now? You're gonna switch them back to the actual shows. That's what I kind of wondering at this point right now. But they don't want the situation like last time, so I guess they're still trying to figure that out. One quick thing. What do you think about half the people showing up in the crowd, like L.A.
Oh,
Knight, the Street Profits,
talk to my brother.
Cross?
I would talk to my brother. I like what they try to make us think that people really came to Saudi Arabia to come watch y'all shows. Like, no, nobody's doing that.
They made
And
it sound like they were celebrities or something,
right,
like
look at
special
the
guests.
stars out here. No, that's your superstars. Those your wrestlers. What are you talking about? They ain't no real big stars, no A-list movie stars. It wasn't nobody there but your own wrestlers. And how we gonna just big up them like here's the big stars. At first I fell for it one time, and that was the first one. Oh man, they was like, oh man, it's a big stars out here. I'm like, man, who came out to Saudi Arabia? And then they showed, I forgot who they showed first.
They showed the Street Profits.
Yeah, the Street Profit first. So I'm looking like, are they kidding me? They
And then
better not again. And they did it again. I'm
L.A.
like,
Knight,
oh my. So I'm like, come on, man.
Cross, who literally just lost to AJ Styles on SmackDown.
So you telling me that whatever y'all was at on SmackDown on Friday, this thing got a plane ticket and came straight out to Saudi Arabia just to sit in the crowd.
Yeah, that didn't make no
Come
sense to me. That I was like, why are we showing these people? Like they were doing something important. Like,
that was, I swear to you, bro.
and I
If
like some of those guys, but it's like, what was the point of that?
if that don't scream fist for man, that scream fist for man. If this did that, so that make our look like that make our superstars look like real stars out there. They just out there among the people watching the match. Like, come on, man.
Yeah, so I didn't understand where they were going with that. But next, and this is gonna be really fast right here. Natalya versus Rhea Ripley for the SmackDown Women's Title. I just don't. All that really happened. I remember they said it was Natalya's birthday. I didn't even think Dominic was gonna be there. And this match was literally like, apparently it was a minute and 10 seconds. Literally,
All
Ripley
right,
just killed Natalya out here. There was no build. I forgot whatever they were really doing on Raw to begin with. And I was like, was this just to get Ripley on the show just because? Because I was like, what was the point of this? Because I'm like, why was this a match again? Just Ripley kills Natalya. That's it. There you go.
and you probably ain't gonna like what I'm about to say, but it should have went that like that. It should have went like just like that, just like
No
that.
build.
See, here's the thing. I would have said the same thing you just said. No bill. But here's the thing. I have to tell him it go beyond the bill. It go beyond the bill. It ain't even that. We are building Rhea to look like a monster. All right, that's it. That's all. She needs to run through people, man. Real talk. She do. She needs to run through people, and Natalya should be one of them.
Yeah, and it's like, what else was Natalya like really doing? I know they just put her on Raw, but and I thought they probably would at least had a decent match out there. That's what I thought. But with Ripley right now, Ripley is made to be look like a killer out there, like super strong, heel champion, and maybe do some heel tactics with Dominic out there as a distraction. And like I said, this was like a minute and 10 seconds, and it's like I wouldn't even look it all the way. I was looking at my phone, and then I'm like, oh, it's over. I'm like, damn, that was fast. But then at the end, I had to think about like it's Natalya, so
It even go beyond it's just Italian, bro. I like it because here's the thing. Rhea needs to do that more often. Only
'Cause
people that she still be struggling with is people like Charlotte, you know, Oscar, Bianca. You know what I'm saying? People that she needs to be struggling with is actually on the other show. All the people I just said. Ain't that something? The only people she should be struggling with too many people on the Raw women roster right now. She should be running through these girls.
yeah, because I get Natalya as a vet, but like I said, they made her look real strong out there. You know, with the quickness, taking her out.
But hey,
Yeah, like I
um,
said, it's not a lot to say about that match. So you know, Ripley won, and that was it.
yeah,
Next though, oh boy. Well, Kyle, here comes the pain because it's Brock Lesnar versus Cody Rhodes.
oh,
Whoa, whoa! I didn't do it right, did I?
you even did it the worse than the last time. I think you just get
Whoa! I like doing that.
it get worse and worse every time.
Oh, oh,
nah,
I thought
no,
I got it this time.
all joking aside though, all joking aside.
What
Remember
you
what?
think about this?
Remember I was just saying how the psychology of a Walter match earlier. This psychology did not make sense, and this is the reason why I say this. Some of that stuff, man, just didn't click to me. Like how quickly they can get up out of their special moves. Like this, this man Brock Lesnar took. I don't know how many headshots from this so-called. I'm doing hand quotes here. So-called titanium seal, whatever, in a cast. He
So he's
took so
Bob Orton now.
right. So he took so many headshots in the head with that. And then you took this man's special move twice. So that not the end of the match. No, this man pops right back up into a Kimura. Like what? I was flabbergasted. I was just flabbergasted. Cody did the same thing. Um, took an F5, got pinned, didn't even really sell, and gets back up and did some type of move. I'm like, what? Hold on, wait a second. They don't sell it. They over here just popping up, doing moves. I'm like, this match did not click to me. It really did not click to me, bro. I swear it didn't. I don't know if I just looking at the match wrong. Should I look at the match again, watching it over again? I probably have some time to do it tonight. But I just really did not. I just I don't know, man. It wasn't as good as the first one. The first one had a bad ending. The first one was good with a bad ending. This one was chaotic and didn't make sense with a good ending to it. I don't know. I don't
Let's
know.
remember they let this man go in there with a broken arm, apparently.
Right, right. So they cleared this man to do it. He got some type of seal thing that only thing that can keep his arm from so he can move it. My brother even said it when he was hitting him with the calf. He's like, my brother was like, man, he still got a broken arm. Why he not selling it? I'm like, I don't know. Even though he was backing him upside the head with this cast, your arm still broken at the same time. You still supposed to have felt this. Like I don't know. I just was not feeling this match like that. I guess it's a rubber match.
And Cody he didn't tap out. He passed out and then woke back up like 15 seconds later, by the way.
So the rubber match is at SummerSlam. They gonna clean
That
up
yeah,
Cody for a minute. He ain't gonna even wrestle away. By the end of the bank. Um, and keep them separated. Come back at SummerSlam, redo it again. Cody can get on with his life after this. For real, man. I get on with this. I was done with it after the first match, right? So now to think about this feud is still going on, it's really baffling me. I'm really not feeling this. I wasn't feeling it the first time when it happened. I just got used to it. Now you really know my feeling right now about it is really out there. I'm really not feeling this match.
A lot of people I know say they don't care, or it's either gone too long. Steve was like, I bet it on Cody at WrestleMania, I lost. I bet it on Brock at Backlash, and I lost. So he was like, it's whatever to be at this point. And yeah, I get they made Cody look strong here. He didn't tap and all that, but I'm almost surprised. I'm like, wow, this is gonna go into SummerSlam, huh? Because you don't really expect to see Brock around that long after WrestleMania. But been here more often than usual.
Yeah, I mean, I'm proud of Brock. Brock.
He must love this feud, so that's why he's stuck around.
Yeah, he really do like this feud. That's why he's selling a lot. Do you see how much he sells for Cody? He sells like he get a shot out there. So I'm, I, I, I'm. This how I really feel. I mean, I told you how I really feel, but this how I can say this. Like with Cody and Brock being in the match, they give me good matches, and I know they matches look more real than anybody else's. But I just care less about this view. I really did. I didn't really. I wasn't really feeling it when they presented it to me for Backlash. I'm like, wait, we got Brock versus what? I don't want to see this. I ain't. Come on, man. Y'all doing all these other things now. Well, why y'all even doing this? And then they continue with it, and that's how I really feel. It's like at SummerSlam, it's gonna be one of their big matches. It's gonna be one of their main events since they over here making multiple main events now. That's not how main events happens. Okay, there's only one main event, one real one. That's it. They know this your double main event. This your double.
They called it a triple main event.
There's no such thing. Okay, it could be big matches and it could be main event. They just go into the big match category. All right. And the world championship went into the big match category. It shouldn't no main event. Ain't no such thing.
No such thing, huh?
No such thing as a triple main event. There's no such thing as that. All right, it's only one main event. One at the end, the crescendo. That's it.
And you wouldn't even put a world title in the main event.
But hey, it was a. It, we'll get there. We'll get there. But I don't know, Bray. How you felt about it? How you feel about this feud anyway? Like from you?
Um, like I said before, man, when this thing began, I'm like, this is obviously to keep Cody away from Roman for a while. And I guess this gives Brock something to do right now, since it's not like he's going for any type of world championship right now, especially with these finishes of these matches, which, like I said, they make sure they make both of these guys look really strong and stuff. It's up and down for me when it comes to this feud though in general, but I was like when it was played up the whole the cast is made out of titanium. It's titanium. He's got this steel titanium cast. I'm like, so is he like Bob Orton now?
I told my brother again when he before the match he was got before the bell rung. I'm like that how Cole is describing this cast that's gonna play a part of this match. And my brother just said, mm-hmm. And as we watching it, I like when he saw I using it, I said, bingo, there we go. I told you it's gonna play a part. And for some of those reasons, it's gonna play a part.
Because like yeah, we knew it was gonna play a part with the cast and broken arm, and now like, well, Cody didn't tap out, folks. He passed out from the pain, so like obviously this is going to continue into SummerSlam, like we just said. Because like I said, some people they made Cody like, I don't know. Some would say it's like Dusty booking, or making him like the new Dusty out there, like make him look very resilient and whatnot. Because they like so they both made both of these guys look strong. I was just wondering. I'm like, man, I didn't think it was gonna go this long. Like, I don't mind some of it, but I can understand your point when it comes to the psychology of it at the same time.
Yeah, the psychology of this match. Man, when I listen to when I get to listen to my boy Jim Cornette later on about this, I know he will. He made some reviews about it too. He going to. But here's the thing, I he probably gonna try to make some type of way of trying to make sense of this, and I would disagree with him fully because this match looked like a AEW match. If he
Damn.
was, you know what I'm saying? It really did. It didn't make any sense. People bouncing up for special move. Cody arm supposed to be Magel at this point, and his arm supposed to look like a chicken wing out there. It's like it's supposed to be mangled. It's supposed to be broken into pieces. This man put the Kimura lock on him for a
For
long time.
several minutes.
And there was one part that made me mad, right? So do you remember when he first did it? When he first put and they would set it up. And his foot was right by the ropes. I don't know if you remember that part.
Yeah, I remember that.
By the ropes. And I was just telling my brother, like, he should be scooting over to get to put his foot at the bottom of the rope. Nah, we're gonna make this man turn his whole body around and then grab the rope. That didn't make sense. That didn't make sense to me. Why his foot is right by the rope? All he gotta do is scoot over an inch. It's under the rope. The rope break is right there. All right,
Got to
man.
stretch.
I stretched that. Oh, and then all of a sudden we make him turn his body around. I was like, all right. And then, like I said, Cody arm supposed to be mangled at this point. It's 3 times he had the Kimura locked on him.
And then at the end, they was like, get a doctor at the end, like having the docs check on Cody after the match.
Whatever. I ignore him if I was the doctor. Like, man, I told that man not to wrestle. And he wanted to go out here and do it. Well, I should not waste my resources. So this man who wanted to do something, I told him not to do.
You gotta remember how tough Cody is, though. He wrestled with a torn pec.
Yeah, yeah, I know, and that's once again, doctor told him, "Hey, you're not supposed to do this." Like, nah. But at the same time,
Like he's that tough. I'll give him that. He's a tough son of a bitch.
I understand what they trying to do. I ain't gonna need a lot of things, right? I know what they trying to do. I know what they end goal. But you know what would have been a better end goal?
What do you
I
think?
I know I beat a dead horse with this, but he should have just won the championship. That's all.
We've all said that. We've all said it.
That should have been the only end goal today. He should have won the championship at WrestleMania. End goal, point blank and simple. Why are
But
we?
he hasn't been enough through. He hasn't been enough through hard times, though. He got to go through some hard times and adversity, apparently.
I guess going through Brock. I mean, if you do bring Brock as the two best of 3 matches for 3 times, and not too many people say that, you up there with the Roman Reigns and and the people who beat Brock Lesnar at that time. It is era from 2016 to now. You go up there with the Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns, and who beat people who beat Brock Lesnar. But here's the thing: you could have did that. You could have did it still. You should have. You could have just had Cody retain his title against Brock Lesnar. That's all. If you wanted to do that, but no, they ain't want to do it.
We gotta get the Styles of Day thing. So yeah, let's get ready to go into that part now. Cause yeah, I'm sure we all would have wanted Cody to win at WrestleMania, but let's go into the main event. Cause yes, today is 1,000 days of Roman as the champion. And man, can I just say how this thing has just been padded at this point just to get to these numbers? Because going into this, which still makes no sense to me, like, let me get this straight. So he been gone for a month after WrestleMania, comes back and gets a tag team title shot. What? Hello?
No. I'm listening. I'm listening.
But yeah, let me get this straight. Like, so I'm gonna say this guy's the world champion. He ain't been here in a month. Come back and now wants a tag title shot, which I sat there like, why? Like, how? Like, this makes no sense. And the way they padded these numbers, like I said, like, look, okay, obviously they don't have nobody else to face him right now for the title, so he's just gonna be off TV, and we're just gonna keep running these numbers until they get to 1,000.
Oh,
Because
okay.
even at this point with the Bloodline and after WrestleMania, it is just dragging to me at this point. It's just kind of starting to drag. They wanted that 1,000 day. They really wanted that 1,000 day thing.
Well, they got it. They
Well, yeah, they
got
got
it.
it now.
The thing.
Go ahead. Hello? Hello? Yo, you there? Well, we have some technical difficulties right now, so I don't know where you went. But just to keep going. Yeah, 1,000 days, like I said. I just feel like it's been padded at this point.
Hello.
All right, there you are. You clocked out there for a second.
Uh, yeah, that was my fault. My headphones. That you know the whole thing about it. I'm sorry, folks.
All right, but yeah, you were saying about this 1,000. Like I said, they got it now. It's just like I just going into this at this point. It's like they obviously don't have really no other real challenger for him right now. So we don't give him a tag title shot because I just feel like it's just starting to drag at this point. The whole bloodline thing in general. But they wanted that reign. Kyle. Okay, he is clocked out again. But yeah, moving on to this main event. Main event. And listen, I may have a bit of a cold, but I'm still going. Main event. Like I said, Roman Reigns, Solo Sikoa versus Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn for the undisputed tag team championships. Yo.
I'm sorry again. I tried my headphones again. See if they were gonna work. Sorry again. That ain't gonna happen.
Okay. So title reign, 1,000 days. Where are we going with this?
Well, they want to break. They want to break somebody record. I don't know who record they want to break. Brace
They probably
who.
about to break Pedro Morales' record.
That's what it is. It's somebody they want to break, and like I did understand who was the person they would try to break, and who would they would try to take down. And like you just said, it's a Pedro Morales record they probably aiming for, or they just wanted him, out there in the echelons of the Pedros and the Hulk Hogan's and the um Bruno Sammartino. They want him in the same name as that because ain't nobody in the modern era had any type of reign like that in a long time. So I guess they want to have one just to put in the modern era. Ain't nobody touching that in a long time, and then probably in the next probably 20 years, nobody touching that record. And I guess that's what they want to do. But to go with what you were talking about, like padding and everything, I wouldn't call it padding. I guess I would call it as strategic. It was very strategic. It was you had take a couple of months off, sometimes probably take a month off. Um, and he only wrestles the big matches, and the big matches feel like something. All the matches that he is in does feel like something. Even now, when we're about to talk about the main event, even felt like something. So I think it's very much strategic. I would keep it like this as long as he champion. I will keep it just like this. Him only showing up for the I mean, for the main matches, like I was just saying, somebody go to challenge him, either at Money in the Bank, you know what I'm saying, for the championship this Friday. That's how I feel because they not gonna probably. I hope they don't squander this. It's tailor made for somebody to come in, interrupt this celebration, and challenge him for the title. Who that person is, don't ask me, Bryce. I don't know. Probably AJ Styles, to be honest with you. I'll do it.
Maybe.
Yeah. But But here's the thing. I wouldn't call it patty. I just, they called it very strategic. They know what they're doing. I agree with I agree with certain people out there though that he don't need to take as many breaks as he doing.
Because we really see him like what, once a month, maybe every few weeks, every 3 or 4 weeks, possibly.
So he don't need to because sometimes I ain't gonna be lie. SmackDown kind of suffers. To me, it does sometimes without him.
It's like if he ain't there, ain't nothing really happening.
Exactly.
I do feel like that way because I feel like, man, they really do need him on this show after time. Because like if he ain't there, then it's like what else is really going on sometime without him. So I just feel like he should probably be on TV at least a little bit more often. Because I get they make him feel like a big deal if he is on TV, and then people will come and watch. So that's one thing to put out there. And also going into this match, other than the 1,000 day title reign thing, I was very surprised to see Sami Zayn actually on this show. But
And what he was doing, too, like man, he was like doing a lot of things. I was very surprised.
because he did
Thinking
come
it,
dressed out, and I know he's Syrian, but that's part of his religion and whatnot. But he came out there doing that and with the gear, because most of the time we usually see Sammy dressed as a homeless man with a black hoodie half the time, and even speaking in the language and whatnot. So he had all of that, but I guess it's more of a political thing. So I guess there were talks over there where they're trying to make progress in Saudi Arabia, but because before he could not go over to that country, he really couldn't because it was a whole thing against Syrian people, and he could not go on that show for the longest. So I didn't really know if he was gonna be on this show. That's what I wondered, and if they did, even I knew this was gonna be the main event, but I thought they would probably have to get him in or out of the country before he gets assassinated.
man, like me and our boy said he was gonna be safe. And WWE
Oh no,
got that
they will
money.
have him protected. He was gonna be protected.
Get to him, you'll have to go through 5,000 army men. Oh, shit.
Oh, they would have soldiers protecting him.
Yeah.
The tightest security, like protect this man to the T. All right, they were not gonna let him get killed out there. So I was surprised that he was even gonna be on the show when this match was even announced. Like, all right, is he really gonna be there? Or are they just gonna probably write him off and he'll get attacked or something? That's what I thought what was gonna happen.
They were gonna protect my boy.
Oh yeah, they was gonna protect him. They like, come on, because even I'm like, everybody let him go over there. Like, but don't let this man get assassinated now, because man, we see how they be working over there with people. Like, remember the last person they assassinated?
Nah,
All right, I'm not gonna go into that journalist because that was a thing a few years ago, which people questioned if WWE was gonna go there last time, but they killed that journalist. So
but yeah,
I'm just
that's what.
saying, but I was surprised, but he was representing, you know, his people, Syrian and whatnot. So he had the full garb and everything. Um, this match, hell, he even spoke it, like even introducing himself. Um, this match though, for the tag team titles, it was good. I'm sure everybody mostly will talk about, of course, when the ref bump comes, something crazy is gonna happen.
Man, it's so crazy that I had my cousin in here with me, and I told him I'm like, well, his match has been looking the same ever since he won the title. Ref bump, something crazy happened, retain. And I like once a ref bump happened, I know the Usos coming out, and right on cue. And ref bump took a little minute, probably 2-3 minutes later. Then the Uso came out, but it was right on cue though. Here's the thing: I knew they were going to retain. I was just waiting for what happening for the bloodline. I'm thinking I'm sounding like a broken record with this storyline with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. It's not about them. It just don't feel like it's about them. It should be. It should, because they are a catalyst of breaking up the bloodline. But the story is not told like that. The story is told as the villain break it up. The villain storyline, the villain break it up origin story or something. That's how I could put it. I don't know how to put it, but that's how it looked to me. It looked like a villain origin story. It's like, oh my god, look at this. The villain team is breaking up. What about the heroes who helping helping breaking up the group? Nah, they not paying attention to that. And I'm thinking to myself like, this is that's not how to tell the story. And once again today, it was back to this not how to tell a story.
Because even I feel like Kevin and Sami, I thought they would have moved on from this at this point and, go on to face somebody else. But, right now it's more about the dissension within inside the bloodline than Kevin and Sami taking down the bloodline.
If they
It's
gonna
like,
have they they not done with the story. Bryce, as you can see how the story is going, I know you do.
oh, it ain't over. It ain't over.
By a long shot, because now as we go along with the match, Jimmy and Jay comes out after the breath bump, and they helping the bloodline at first, and then all of a sudden they accidentally double super kick Solo. Roman Reigns see it. Roman Reigns not pleased with it. Not knowing that it probably an accident. He buffed Jimmy. That was the last straw. That was the straw that broke the camera back. Because here after he bumped Jay, he turned around into a super kick. Bam. The crowd
Yep.
goes stupid. The
Yep.
crowd goes dumb. And now we back to the Jay and Jimmy just going at it like, man, what's up? Why you do this? We should. He like, man, you should have did this a long time ago. I'm doing something that you should have did. And I'm like, oh man, here we go. And
Yep.
now, so after that breakup, they probably will go for the tag team titles on their own again. But it's gonna be within the storyline. Something is going to happen once again. And probably Solo get involved. Something going to happen. But
Yeah, cause the minute that happened and Jimmy super kicked him, Jimmy basically was like, "Fuck this nigga, like fuck this, like I'm your brother. This ain't your brother, like I am, okay? Like you said, I'm doing something you should have did a long time ago." And Jimmy super kicked him, and he was like, "All right, we gotta go. We out. We gotta go." And then Solo got hit with a stunner and a haluva kick, and it was over. They still retained the tag titles, so you can tell like the Usos probably gonna do this on their own now.
yeah, most definitely. And probably at Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, and one of them. But here's the thing: if you're not tired of this story, God bless you. You probably love the Bloodline story more than us. But at the same time, I am completely tired of this storyline. I really am. I'm just tired. I'm just tired of it. I'm just. It's like, okay, they break it up. Let them be broken up. Somebody should take the title off of Roman. Roman should take a hiatus. Sit down. Go somewhere for a minute. Let us miss you. But they leaning on Roman so much right now. It's like they can't afford for him to take a hiatus.
They need him right now. They need him. They got to
But I
keep
think,
this. They got to
but
keep
go
it
ahead.
going. Well, like I said, they need him right now. They obviously want to keep this thing rolling and rolling. But like I said earlier, I feel like this is starting to drag at this point.
It's dragging. It is. It's like dragging a dead corpse on the ground. It's like how much you dragging this heavy corpse around, and it ain't gonna be fine.
Yeah, yes. I'm like, so what? Because like this is like probably the biggest development out of this whole story right now. I'm like, all right, Jimmy finally kicked him because we already seen Roman try to punk out Jimmy for the past 2 weeks now. And if you saw SmackDown, Jimmy will walk off like Roman tell him sit down, like sit down, and just like Jimmy will go sit down. He's like do something, let's do it. Like I run this thing, that's you. Like this is me. Like do something. And then Jimmy finally did something this time. He got tired of it, and that was the final straw. So at least something actually developed. But
the psychology, my cousin even got the psychology. He said, he said, yeah, that should happen. It ain't too many times a grown man gonna let you go bump him in the head constantly. I'm like, well, that makes sense.
because he kind of did that at the beginning of this whole thing. Remember when Jimmy was wearing that shirt a few years ago? Nobody's bitch. He
No,
wasn't
I'm
going
just
for
saying,
Roman stuff.
like it's too many times you go completely let that happen as a grown man. Then gonna let somebody just keep on muffing you in the head. So of course that's supposed to happen. It's a development of the story. I understand it, but I I just hope. I don't know. I got too much hope right now, but I just hope that by the end of the summer, this story is done. It's
This has
done.
gone on for the longest, and even I wonder, like, okay, so what new idea y'all got this week, or like, so who go facing for the title? Because at this point, it's just like, where are we going with this anymore? Even I literally wonder that sometimes. Like, this is going on for the longest, and I mean the longest.
Yeah. Yeah, overall, overall, this match was just another storyline match, and less about action, more about storyline progression.
Agreed. That's what this really was. It wasn't a bad main event, but this is more about the story, though. This is more about the bloodline and out of dissension in the bloodline, and make sure they could talk about Roman's 1,000-day title reign and promote that for SmackDown. Because I gotta say, he got heavily cheered out there when he came out there too, Roman. So they were already going with this 1,000-day thing, but this was a storyline mostly for this match.
Well, well, at the same time, if you notice, Roman will get cheered at the beginning. Then he'll start getting booed.
Oh yeah, throughout the match, yeah. Because
Yeah.
they start booing him and he'll just start talking a whole bunch of mess. Like we saw that how he kept getting in and out of the ring. Like I gave that man everything. I gave him everything. Like
Yeah, I, I, I really enjoyed that tonight. Real talk, I really enjoyed tonight.
overall, I thought it was a pretty good show today. Obviously one of the biggest newsworthy things out of here was obviously the bloodline stuff and Asuka winning the title
Title. Yeah.
and the crowning of the new world champion and whatnot. Um, it was a pretty good show. Like this wasn't a bad show. Just
Not
like I
at
said,
all.
just like I enjoyed it. I didn't like I said, I didn't really hate it. I did enjoy the opener, of course, with Seth and AJ. Um, the main event, like I said, was it was good for what it was, but mostly because of the story. Um, Asuka won the title, even though that match kind of went on forever, and you can see where the crowd was going with that. I'm trying to think if anything else was noteworthy out of here. Zoe Stark helping Trish, even though I thought that match it wasn't bad, but I was trying to figure out where it was gonna go. I will say one other thing. In this overall review, I thought it was funny earlier. You was talking about how whoever Becky's makeup, whoever does the makeup job, they need to be fired.
Man,
I thought it was pretty funny.
bad.
You said that earlier.
It's just horrible. It's like, man, they do Becky like that a lot with the makeup. Either if it ain't more, if it happened more than once, it gotta be Becky wanted it like that, or that's what she want. But that's just nah.
You're like, nah, like, no, nah, nah. I thought she looked like a giant orange out there at first. Like I said, the Kill Bill gear was cool, but I, I'm like, damn, you was going in on the makeup You was going in on that. So yeah. So you was going in on that. But yeah, I thought the IC title match was it was pretty good for what it was. The SmackDown Women's thing was short, just make Ripley look dominant. Brock versus Cody, take it however you want. Honestly,
Yeah.
take it.
I was not too pleased with it. I put it like that.
Yeah, it's either you're gonna like it or you're not gonna like it. So that's how I look at it. But I thought it was an overall pretty good fun show this afternoon. So like I said, the show wasn't bad. I thought it was overall pretty good. So I did enjoy it though. But other than that though, like I said, it's a very long weekend, folks. Memorial Day, excuse me, weekend and stuff. Comment, subscribe. Follow me on Twitter, Hooded9090. You got anything you want to plug or any grade if you want to give this show?
I give the show actually a B. To be honest with you, it was pretty good. I really give it a B. For my first Saudi match. Remember, I haven't been watching these shows. That's my very first Saudi Arabia match. For personal reasons, it's just I don't like it too much. The blood money, all that stuff.
Blood
But
money.
other than that, it was a B. But anything I want to plug, follow me on Twitter, straightface40. And yeah.
But yeah, other than that though, should be back with a Double or Nothing review on Monday. Don't know if I'm gonna review NXT. Thinking about that, but we'll see. But given how both of those shows looking right now, NXT kind of had me thinking I may want to review that one a little bit more. But still coming with the Double or Nothing one on Monday. Hopefully, I can try to knock a little bit more of this cold out of me before it tries to take me out before that review. But yeah, I hope everybody out there has a very safe and long weekend. So yeah, we will be back in next day or two for Double or Nothing. So we're out of here. This is the Night of Champions review. I'm out. Peace.